This is Daily Armenia, ＳիվիլNeթ's daily news digest. Here's what's making headlines in Armenia today. German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier praised Armenia's bold step in adopting a European Union integration bill, emphasizing Germany's respect for the decision. At a joint press conference with Armenian President Vahakin Khachaturian yesterday, Steinmeier acknowledged the long road ahead for Armenia's EU membership, but highlighted ongoing negotiations for a new partnership agenda. He also noted the economic benefits of Armenia-EU ties and Germany's commitment to supporting Armenia's development. There's a lot of work to be done aimed at reforms, and we also spoke about the need for reforms. I have the impression that there is a realistic understanding in Armenia that the path towards the EU is a long one, Steinmeier said. A financial cooperation agreement was signed between Armenia and Germany during the visit, with Armenian Economy Minister Gevorg Papoyan and German Ambassador Claudia Busch formalizing the partnership at the presidential residence. Steinmeier commended Armenia's constructive approach to the peace process with Azerbaijan, stating that no obstacles remain for signing the normalization agreement. He urged Azerbaijan to eliminate its skepticism and finalize the deal, emphasizing that the people of the South Caucasus desire an end to conflict, saying, "It wasn't easy for Armenia to end the conflict and achieve resolution. Many countries can take an example from this process." President Khachaturian reiterated Armenia's readiness to sign the treaty and stressed the importance of negotiations to overcome challenges. He expressed confidence that a resolution is within reach. Khachaturian expressed Armenia's appreciation for Germany's continuous support in economic and social development, particularly in education, renewable energy, and infrastructure. He emphasized Germany's role as Armenia's leading EU trading partner and its commitment to fostering peace and stability in the region. A presentation of the book Broken Shield about the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh War was recently held in Yerevan. It's a collection of works by 17 Armenian and international authors analyzing various aspects of the history of the Karabakh conflict in an attempt to better understand and document what really happened. During the panel discussion, one of the book's contributors, Narek Sukiasyan, who studied Russia's policy on the Karabakh conflict, noted that Armenian expectations that Russia would resolve the dispute in favor of one side were unfounded. He explained that Russia aimed to extend its influence across the post-Soviet space and could not afford an open confrontation with Azerbaijan. According to him, Armenia's political leadership failed to accurately assess these realities and Russia's interests, including the 2019 Russian proposal for a Karabakh settlement, known as the Lavrov Plan, which Armenia ultimately rejected. Another contributor to the book, Naira Sahakyan, analyzed the evolution of discourse surrounding the Karabakh conflict. Initially framed as a movement for the unification of Armenia and Karabakh, the discourse later transformed into a struggle for self-determination and eventually took on other dimensions, moving away from the core substance of the negotiation process between the parties. An English edition of Broken Shield, edited by Professor Viken Cheterian, is set to be published in London this fall. Check out our new episode of the ＳivilNet podcast. Ani Jalozyan, Development Director of the Women's Support Center NGO in Yerevan, joined us to examine the pressing issues surrounding domestic violence in Armenia. She discussed the early grassroots efforts to raise awareness, as well as the passage of last year's amendments that strengthened legal protections for victims. She also highlighted the persisting challenges in bridging the gap between legislation and enforcement. You can find a link to it in this video's description, as well as by subscribing to the ＳivilNet Spotify channel. And finally, the ＳivilNet number of the day is 452. That's the number of extradition requests Armenia's Ministry of Justice has rejected over the past 5 years, coming from 23 countries, according to a new report from the investigative outlet HETK. Russia topped this list with 305 of its requests rejected, followed by Iran with 48 and Georgia with 20. The issue gained attention last month when a Russian citizen was arrested in Yerevan for allegedly evading military service at home. However, Armenian authorities denied the extradition request, as they have previously in similar cases. Meanwhile, Russia has rejected 24 requests from Armenia in recent years, often involving criminal charges. During this same period, Armenia has extradited 25 individuals, including 8 to Russia, and received 11 wanted persons. And as always, keep following CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.